Here is a video I was meant to release today called No More Nerfs, which was talking about how we haven't seen a single nerf in War Robots in 7 months. But earlier on today, Pixonic dropped a bombshell. So for those that don't know, they basically dropped the biggest list of nerfs and buffs ever seen before in the game, so we're going to go through these right now. So, starting off with robots, by the way guys, nothing is safe here, so whatever you have, you might be screwed. Obviously, we've got the Curie, which is getting quite a considerable nerf to everything. The turret range is getting a crazy nerf, the damage as well, the cooldown, and yeah, basically, finally the Curie is going to be useless. Just look at that, that is insane nerfs. Next up, we have the Crisis, which is actually nerfed as well. The stealth cooldown is getting nerfed, so it now takes 7 seconds if you want to go back to stealth after firing. The Dagon is getting a quite considerable HP nerf, and the shield surge ability is getting nerfed, and the cooldown's getting increased as well. Pretty crazy. However, it is going to be getting a buff of movement speed when you use the ability, and the shield is going to be able to regenerate more, so this is kind of like a trade-off rather than a nerf or buff. And the Inquisitor is getting a 1 second reduced cooldown, like that'll do anything anyway. Continuing with robot changes, the Hades is getting a durability buff, pretty nice, might test this out. The Jaeger's getting a buff as well, which is insane. Quite a few, so the movement speed damage bonus in the different modes and also increased damage of the built-in weapon. The Leech is getting a relatively small speed buff, and now for one that we all kind of knew was coming, the Lynx. So this is kind of a crazy nerf. Reduced movement speed and increased cooldown, although we do have an increased bonus to the movement speed in the ability, but yeah, I think this is going to be the last straw for the Lynx. That has been in the meta for so long, so it's going to be crazy seeing that finally disappearing. The Nightingale's getting buffed, it's going to have a 3 second shorter cooldown, and yeah, you also get increased movement speed from the air support, which is pretty nice. Now, the Ochakochi is actually getting buffed, well, in terms of durability, and then the knockback from the Stampede is getting nerfed, and the speed that you get, the acceleration, so that's nerfed as well. So the Ochakochi is probably going to be even worse. They're actually nerfing the Pathfinder as well, which is pretty crazy because nobody runs this. So it was basically like a Kestrel drone where the more you got kills, the more damage it did. But they are toning that down a little bit. Now the Raptor is getting quite a few nerfs. Movement speed's getting nerfed, the built-in weapon is getting nerfed, the damage from the jump's getting nerfed, and the reflector's getting nerfed. So absolutely everything that could have been nerfed on that just got nerfed, so maybe don't invest in a Raptor anytime soon. It probably won't be too noticeable, but I think in the future they probably will nerf it further. The Revenant is getting a buff, it's getting an extra 9% of increased grey damage protection while using its ability. Bit random, but okay. Now, this next one is quite interesting about the Shenlu. So the ability teleports are getting nerfed, the cooldown is going from 3 to 5 seconds. It's getting a reduced Aegis shield, but something I forgot to actually include in the screenshot is the Typhon shield that it gets is changing to a normal dome Aegis shield. So that's actually quite interesting. Kind of defeats the purpose of close range combat because the shield's going to be useless against the person you're attacking, but there we go. Now, moving on to weapons, because believe me, we have not even started. The Aramis, Athos, and Porthos are getting, well, the Aramis is getting a nerf to the damage, and the other two and the Aramis are getting a reload nerf. The Avalanche is actually getting buffed, it's getting some more ammo, which is quite interesting. And now, this is really not good. The Blight and Decay are getting nerfed. Yes, that's right, the go-to free-to-play weapons are finally getting a nerf for the first time in their history. I'm not gonna lie, they are strong, but I wouldn't really say they need a nerf. This just sucks. And yeah, further down, the Hazard hasn't escaped this either. This is also getting a nerf. The Flux as well is getting buffed, which is interesting. And now for another interesting one, the Hurricane is actually getting nerfed. I don't know this for sure, but I think this is going to be to do with all the people using it to tanking advantages and stuff in lower leagues. The Jawclaw and Talon, they're getting a 1 second reload buff, literally pointless. And the Liming and Fengbao are also getting nerfed, and the Shifang. Basically, the Burst interval is getting nerfed, which should be interesting to see. And the reload is getting an extra 4 seconds added on. This one broke my heart. They are finally nerfing the Magnetar. They are literally going after every weapon in this nerf. So yeah, pretty crazy nerf to the Magnetar damage. But the lockdown gets better, which, let's be honest, isn't going to help at all. RIP to an absolutely classic weapon. The Mirana, Shion, and Jotun are also getting nerfed, which they're useless anyway, so I don't think this is going to make much difference. And yeah, the Rhyme, Cryo, and Glacier, those are getting buffed, and they're also getting a range buff to 350 meters. Finally! And the Skady, Snire, and Hell, their reload is once again coming down, which is actually decent because they're going to be closer to what they were when they released. The Spark is getting increased ammo. And finally, the Subduer is getting nerfed. Thank the Lord. So, a pretty substantial damage nerf. The range is getting nerfed to 500 meters. And, yeah, the shot interval is getting doubled. Interesting, because there's no mention about the rust getting reduced, but we might see that in the future. And the Ultimate Shock Train is also getting nerfed. Thank God, that is the only weapon that I struggle against in Champion League. It is crazy. That's right, you guessed it, Titans aren't safe either. So the Bedouin is getting nerfed. The ability duration 2 seconds shorter now. The repair from the ability is also getting a really small nerf. And yeah, so absorbing damage from the shield is also getting a 10% nerf. So yeah, there we go. Interesting to see that. The Eiffel is getting absolutely destroyed. 50,000 durability nerfed. The ability is 2 seconds shorter, which is a quarter. Durability bonus is almost halved. Wait, no, it is halved. It's literally halved. And the damage bonus for the additional weapon is also almost halved. And the cooldown is going from 7 to 6 seconds. So the Eiffel is going to be useless. Finally, that is a good thing in my opinion because it's been going on along with the Curie, dominating Champion League for way too long. But yeah, this is a crazy nerf. The Heimdall's getting a massive buff. The movement speed's going up, the damage bonus is going up, the defense points, and the, what's it called, the weapon and the golden horn as well is getting buffed. So, if you run a Heimdall, it is your day. Now, this is crazy. The Luchador's finally getting nerfed. Unfortunately, I believe we all saw that one coming as well, because for Pixonic's liking, too many people were using it in Champion League. So, reduced defense points, it now has 50 less, and the duration of the reflector has been nerfed by 3 seconds. That is devastating, I cannot lie. Same with the Rook as well. The shield durability is getting quite a considerable nerf, and the repair from the shield replacement is halved! What the heck? That's going to be crazy. Now, yeah, the Nodens, it gets a 3-second buff for the disposal, which is literally useless. And the Shranga gets a 15% slowing effect on phase exile. Moving on to Titan weapons, the Basilisk and Crate and the Dazzler and Lantern are getting a ammo buff, which is nice. Now, the Discordia and Tumultus are getting nerfed. The shot interval is going up by 0.7%. And the rate of fire will no longer increase when firing continuously. So, no more acceleration mode for those. That is going to suck. That is quite a big nerf. Now, the Gargantua and Pantagruel are getting the cone angle increased for about the 58 millionth time. And yeah, the Inferno and Pyro are getting a damage nerf. And the overheating period has gone up by 3 seconds, which is a lot. That has more than doubled, so if you overheat the weapons, you are going to be waiting 5 seconds. And guys, not even drones are safe. Look at all this. So the barrel, that's actually getting buffed, so 10%. Ironheart's getting a reduced cooldown, but now here we go. Kestrel is nerfed again. Another 5% damage loss from the death mark. And they've added a time limit for the on's kill speed. So you don't get a permanent boost for the rest of the battle anymore. That sucks. Obviously, the Pascal was going to get nerfed at the same time as the Curie. So all of the bonuses and fixing of health, all that stuff, that's been toned down quite a lot. That is good because that drone was OP, but that is also going to affect 90% of my hangar. Oh well. Anyway, moving on, the Shy is also getting a 2-second reduction of the last stand it provides, and the on-load durability speed now only activates once per deployment. Now, they've even nerfed pilots! Otto Schreier is getting nerfed. What the heck? He was such a good pilot. So the fire rate's going from 35% extra to just 25%. Is this even worth it anymore? And the Curie pilot is getting nerfed as well. The ability recharge bonus is nerfed by 10%. So this literally came out of nowhere. And yeah, I can already tell a lot of people are going to be fuming about this. Now, once again, I am going to remind you that all of this is subject to change because this is for the test server. But we all know that 90% of what goes on there ends up coming to the game. So brace yourselves, guys. This is going to be probably the craziest set of nerfs in history. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.